Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Sports Talk with Austin, your daily dose of sports and entertainment. And today on the show, we are going to be getting my reactions and thoughts to, can you believe it, the Week 12 AP Top 25 poll. And I know that, a lot of people don't pay attention to this much anymore, but some people still do pay attention to it, and it still does mean a little bit to some people. So, with that being said, let's break down, get my thoughts, reactions to the Week 12 AP poll. Let's talk about it and see what's going on this week as we head into the third week of the CFP ranking. Let's see how the AP committee is taking things. So, starting off at number one, no shock here. They still got the Georgia Bulldogs at number one, coming off of a 52-17 domination of the Ole Miss Rebels on Saturday night in Athens. I didn't expect anything less. For the all year long in the AP poll, Georgia's been number one. They've they've been the most consistent team you can make an argument for. Carson Beck, the offense is getting rolling. The defense is starting to look really good now. Georgia may be the most complete team in all of college football, but Georgia at number one after the 52-17 win over Ole Miss. At number two, you've got the Michigan Wolverines, who are coming off a 24-15 win over Penn State without Jim Harbaugh on the sideline, who is serving his possible 3-game suspension. And, Michigan, they've also could make a case that they're the most complete team, except for their offense has been somewhat inconsistent throughout the year. Defense has been holding it all together, but this past Saturday, they were able to run the ball with efficiency, not having to pass the ball all that much, and it's really helped the Wolverines out. And they're still at number two like they have been all this time. At number three, at number three, you've got at number three, you've got the Ohio State Buckeyes. So no changes here. Ohio State coming off a 38-3 thrashing of the Michigan Wolverines at home. Marvin Harrison Jr. have yourself a day. Had 3 touchdowns, had one on the ground and two through the air. And Kyle McCord company got out of there, did their business, and they're still at number three. Coming in at number four, you've got the Florida State Seminoles, so still no changes. Florida State coming off a 27-20 victory over the Miami Hurricanes. They're squeaking one out this past Saturday. The rivalry game, Jordan Travis, the Florida State defense at home kept it. Miami, even with all their trouble, was still to give this Knowles team a run for their money, but came up just short, and Florida State at number four still. At number five, you've got the Washington Huskies. Huskies coming off a 35-28 win over the Utah Utes at home in a thrilling game where you seen Utah almost pull off the upset, but fell just a little short as Michael Penix and the Huskies offense once again had a nice day on the ground and were able to salt it out, and the defense came up with a takeaway at the end to win it. Now coming in at number six, their fellow Pac-12 foe, number six, Oregon. Oregon coming off of a 36-27 win over the USC Trojans at home. That game was never really in doubt. Bo Nix trying to make a case for Heisman. The Ducks defense is getting better and better. And, you can make an argument, that they're the most complete team in football, especially in the Pac-12. But they're still at number six. Nothing has changed within the top six. But at number seven, you've got the Texas Longhorns, who almost gave it away once again, almost, but they were able to come up with a 29-26 win over the TCU Horned Frogs and were able to secure a win. Donald Mitchell making the big third down catch to seal the win for the Horns, and Texas is still in contention to win the Big 12 and still in playoff contention, and they're still at number seven in the AP poll. At number eight, you've got the Alabama Crimson Tide, who beat Kentucky 49-21 one on Saturday afternoon. Jalen Milroe playing like a Heisman candidate, and looks like Alabama's back to Bama of old, running the football, smash mouth. Milroe using his mobility to his advantage, and Alabama's looking really good. and they will have a date with the Georgia Bulldogs for the SEC championship. As Georgia and Bama both clinched the West and the East, and the date in Atlanta is set, so mark your calendars. At number 9, you've got my Louisville Cardinals coming off a 31-24 thriller on Thursday night against Virginia. Virginia sneaking up on a lot of teams, including beating North Carolina earlier this year, especially beating North Carolina in Chapel Hill. They almost beat us here at home, but our defense and Jack Plummer made the plays when we needed him to. We're here at number 9, and we're one win away from clinching a spot in the ACC title game and playing Florida State for all the marbles. At number 10, you got the Oregon State Beavers, who are coming off of a mopping win. Oregon State, DJU and company getting it together, making things happen, getting it done as they come off a mopping 52-17 win over Stanford, getting things done. The offensive line looking really good. And Oregon State at number 10 got a big matchup with Washington this weekend. At number 11, you've got the Missouri Tigers, who are coming off a 36-7 thrashing of the Tennessee Volunteers at home. Eli Drinkwitz and company, after losing a heartbreaker to Georgia, bounce right back and get back to dominance like nothing ever happened. And Missouri may be one of the better teams within the SEC this year. You can maybe make an argument they're the third best team in the conference after the way they played Saturday. At number 12, you've got the Penn State and Indy Lions, who once again come up short as they lose 24-15 to the Michigan Wolverines, falling short once again in a big game. James Franklin could not get it done. Drew Hour and that offense was almost useless Saturday. The defense kept them in as long as it can, but Michigan in their running attack wore them down. But they kept them at number 12, didn't knock them down too much, considering they lost to the number 2 team in the country. At number 13, you got the Ole Miss Rebels, who had a bad day Saturday as well, getting thrashed 52-17 to the reigning defending SEC and national champ Georgia Bulldogs. Wasn't a pretty night for Jackson Dart. Things just look sloppy, but Ole Miss is still 8-2 and still have a slight chance at a New Year's Six bowl if things fall their way. At number 14, you got the Oklahoma Sooners, who got back on track with a 59-20 win over the West Virginia Mountaineers. Dylan Gabriel and the offense seemed to find their way as they were explosive through the air and on the ground. And the defense only giving up 20 points, getting back right. Oklahoma 14, and they still control their own destiny to get to the Big 12 title game. At number 15, you got the LSU Tigers coming off of a 52-35 win over the Florida Gators at home. Jaden Daniels had another Heisman moment, arguably the most outstanding player, maybe even the best player in college football in general. Looking at his stats, hadn't thrown very many picks, a lot of touchdowns, a lot of yards, one of the best completion percentages. LSU, even though they're 7-3, they're 3, and many people may say he's out of the conversation because of that. Well, it's happened before. RG3 and my guy Lamar Jackson, Louisville, both won the Heisman with very subpar teams, so it can happen. At number 16, you got the Utah Utes coming off that 35-28 heartbreaking loss to the Washington Huskies. Bryson Barnes and that offense did the best they could, but it's a hard place to go up and play in Husky Stadium. That crowd got loud and wild. They made too many mistakes and it cost them, but they're still at 16. They're acknowledging that they did play a tough road environment, so they didn't knock them down too much. At number 17, you got the Tulane Green Waves, who are coming off of a big time win. Tulane, one of the non-power fives. A lot of people forgot about them, and here they are back from the dead, possibly going to be the Group of 5 representative again this year. Should be very interesting, but Tulane at 17. At 18, you got the James Madison Dukes, who are 10-0 unbeaten in first place Sun Belt Conference. College Game Day will be making the trip down there as they will take on App State Saturday at 2:30 my time, 1:30 people on the Central Time. If you're on West Coast, it'll be 12:30. But James Madison 18. It sucks that they can't get to go bowling or compete for the Sun Belt, but they're a really good team, and I'm glad the AP committee acknowledged them. Just wish the CFP committee would acknowledge them. And at number 19, You've got the Arizona Wildcats. Jedfish and company are still playing for a stake in the Pac-12 title game, and they're 7-3, coming off a 34-31 win over the Colorado Buffaloes. And Arizona, Noah Fafita is not. He's Mr. November, October. October, he is legit. Arizona has found their guy, and Arizona and Jedfish, great job on what you've done, and hopefully you keep it going. But you got a big date coming up soon, soon, soon. If you want to make the Pac-12 title game. At number 20, you got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who are still hanging in there. Notre Dame coming off a 31-23 loss 2 weeks ago to Clemson, but this past week they had a bye week, had another week to rest up. They got Wake this weekend. Should be very interesting. Sam Hartman going back to Wake. Well, Wake coming to Notre Dame. Should be a very interesting rivalry game, but Notre Dame still at number 20. They still acknowledge the win over USC, and they acknowledge the 3-point loss to Ohio State. So they took all that into consideration and made sure Notre Dame did not fall. But Notre Dame at number 20. And at number 21, you've got the Tennessee Volunteers, who got beat down 36-7. Tennessee is now 7-3. They got a date with Georgia next weekend. Should be very interesting, but this is very interesting for a couple reasons. Tennessee, they're not the same team they were last year. They lost a lot of talent that they were not able to replace, and it's shown in their play that they could not get it fixed. And it's very worrisome if you're a Tennessee fan. And just maybe, they're worse off than we thought. But Tennessee's still at 21-1. At number 22, you got the North Carolina Tar Heels, who are coming off of a 47-45 double overtime thriller victory over the Duke Blue Devils without Riley Leonard, retaining the victory bell. And Drake May and company still alive for the ACC title. Drake May still in a lot of people's ballots and conversations for the Heisman. And I think, he very well has an argument. Had a great day on the passing day, in North Carolina, keeping their chances at a New Year's Six bowl, possibly alive, possibly, but they're going to need a lot of help if they want to make the ACC title game. And at number 23, you've got the Kansas State Wildcats coming off of a big time whopping of the Baylor Bear Necessities, as my good buddy Jackson Johnson likes to call them. But they beat the Baylor Bears big time at home, and Kansas State doing what they did after blowing it to Texas, after going for it all and missing it. They're able to get the win and get out of there. They were not able to get the win against Texas, but they were able to bounce back at home. Avery Johnson, Will Howard was able to get the job done for the Wildcats. And they're 23. And at number 24, you got the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who got blown out 45-3. I don't know what happened Saturday, but that was not the Oklahoma State that we've seen as of late. That Oklahoma State team was not in. Congrats to UCF on a big time win, but Oklahoma State only 3 points. Not a very good afternoon. Ollie Gordon, that offense. Alan Bowman, 3 picks. It was just not a good day all around. And then 45-3, an embarrassment of a day for Okie State, but they're still in the running for the Big 12 championship game because they do own the tiebreaker over Kansas and Oklahoma, so not all hope is lost for Mike Gundy and company. And then finally, at number 25, you've got the Liberty Flames, who are currently 10-0 and unbeaten as well, and they stay at number 25 and 5, no movement up, no movement down, staying steady right there. But that was this week's Week 12 AP poll. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with it at this point in the season? Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel, click on those notification bells so you never miss another great video. I hope you guys enjoy this. I enjoy making these videos for you, and I appreciate all the love and support for my content. And make sure you keep it tight here at Sport Talk with Austin. We got plenty more great things coming in the future, and I look to bring them to you. And remember, it's always the Cards. Go Cards, everybody. I'm out.